Alright everybody, how y'all doing, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a reviewing of the MSI FM2 A55M E33 motherboard. Now the reason why, before I get into that, this motherboard came off eBay used, so it's in good condition, but some of the header pins are bent, but I was managing to straighten them out using the front panel headers and the USB headers as well. Now the reason why I'm going with this motherboard, because the ASUS F2 A55M LE, which I've been using for 2 years now, is giving me main hardware issues. Now when I'm in the room cleaning, or I'm in the room doing my thing, relaxing, come home from work, thinking of what content create to do, I start it up, I get everything going, and then soon I go ahead on and engage into my activity, it shuts down and reboots. So what I do is I go into Event Viewer and I see all these critical errors, and each critical error gives me an error code, which I forget, but behind the error code it say main hardware issue. Now anything that say main hardware issue is dealing with your motherboard. So I've been having this issue going on for 2 years, and I decided to roll with the MSI FM2 A55M E33. Let's get into the unboxing of it and go over the specs and details of this motherboard. Now she was missing the bracket, but I had a AM2 bracket to fit on it, and she fixed like a snug. Now I could paint it black, but just like I said, I'm not gonna be going to Home Depot finding paint and stuff like that just to paint the thing black. It's gonna be hidden by the CPU cooler, and the case I'm using is not a presentation case, so it's gonna be replacing the ASUS F2 A55M LE, because that ASUS FM2 motherboard has been giving me main hardware issues. Anything main hardware issues just with the motherboard. What's wrong with it? I don't know. I don't have no testers or anything. So I went ahead on and found me another motherboard to use. Now let's get into the specs and details of why I'm choosing this motherboard. Just like I already told you, hardware issues on the ASUS F2 A55M LE. So let's get into the specs. Here is your chipset AMD A55, your FM2 and FM2 Plus socket. Yes, it supports the FM2 Plus 6000 series up to the 7000 series APUs. The memory is DDR3. Hertz speed is 1066 all the way up to 2133 overclocking megahertz. Max memory of this is 16 gigabytes. Now I do have 16 gigabyte G-Skill Agassi on hand, so that will be replacing those two bracket sockets right now. PCIe X16 2.0, PCIe X1, as well as your PCI slot. Here are your JTPM header, your HDMI audio header, your COM header, as well as your USB 1, your JRP 1, your front panel headers, etc., your SATA ports, your system fan, CPU fan. It has decent capacitors for light range overclocking, so you ain't gotta worry about destroying your motherboard. It sets it for you, and as it says right here, it says OC Genie 2 Plus. That's overclocking Genie 2, and it does that for you, so you ain't gotta really worry about any issues with that. Now, going over the back panel, here it has your audio, your 1, 2, 3, 4 USB 2.0, your HDMI port, your VGA port. Your VGA port supports up to 1024 by 768. Your HDMI hookup goes to 1920 by 1080, so it goes to HD. Here's your CPU 4-pin power connect, your 24 power pin connect. So yes, this motherboard is going to handle my issues great. I already have tested it. It works perfectly. It fires up quick, fast, and there's no issues with it. Now, the APU I'm going to be using is the A6 5400K. It goes up to a base of 3.6 gigahertz with a boost, I think, to 3.9. I'm not sure, but I'll be putting all that link in the info of the CPU I'm using in the description below, as well as the motherboard. And I will be replacing the Asus F2 A55M LE. I might just go ahead on and recycle the Asus motherboards into a recycling factory so they can strip it down. It does work, but if I was giving it off to somebody else, I would not recommend doing that there, because I already know that it has main hardware issues dealing with the motherboard. So I want to thank y'all for watching this quick reviewing of the MSI FM2 A55M E33, and I cannot wait to go ahead on and redo my entertainment rig in the room again. I thought I could go ahead and salvage that Asus FM2 motherboard, but it's been giving me issues. And before I take out any components in my system, let's go ahead and replace the hardware. This motherboard is a micro ATX motherboard. It's on DirectX 11. It's small, it's durable, it's fittable. So like I said, I'll be doing the strip down sometime next week and do the rebuild the same week following. So like I said, I want to thank y'all for watching this quick review of the MSI FM2 A55M E33. Now, if you're just a basic user looking for something to work with at home, I will be putting the link of the information of the motherboard, and yes, you can find this motherboard on AliExpress as well as eBay. But rarely I prefer for you to go to AliExpress, because you can get a lot of their stuff in great, excellent condition without any bent pins or anything like that. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the rebuild video.